And now, Giants Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright. Fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us. Breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride. Talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes! 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 Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
All right, welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live here. Back again. Yeah, I was feeling a little under weather yesterday, but I'm back ready to get at it. There's not a whole lot to talk about, guys. I'll tell you that right now, right off the rip. Hey, here we go. There is absolutely nothing to talk about with the San Francisco Giants. Nothing. So we'll make do with what we got, and then we'll see what's up. Lou is with us. Glenn is with us. Tahoe guys, already get into it. Look at that. Name of the day, Jeff Kent. No, it's not. No, it's not. Matt Skills says Rick Russell. Don Robinson, Matt Skills, Greg Glidden.
I think we said Lou. I think we closed out the show. We said it'll be a player-related theme tomorrow night. So already they're just throwing out everybody.
They're already throwing it. Matty
We're
Lou.
going through the old yearbooks.
Look at Matt Skills. He's just going. He is good. Hey, go for it, dude. Go for it. Aaron Lance.
Lou, you know who qualified last night. The name escapes me, and we had two prior. Tonight is night number 4 of the 12 Days of Christmas. And you realize nobody from the Bay Area is qualified. That shows you that the fan base is spread out.
Dude, everybody. What the hell? We got Southern Cal, we got Arkansas, and now we got Arizona. My God.
Ironic, isn't it?
Or else.
Sorry, guys. My reviews of your show has gotten so good. You know, it's going from all over the place. I apologize. It happened.
Look at this. Freddie Sanchez, Bob Nepper, Kelly. Look, this is it. This is it right here, man. This is it right here. I mean, this is we got nothing else to talk. The Giants aren't doing anything right now. So what are we supposed to do? I'm tired of hearing Giants are in on and Giants are talking to and Giants are engaged in. Good Lord, man. We got Willie, Buster, JT, Rich, Matt, Barry, Tim. No, and no.
Eric, I'll tell you what I wanted to talk about between us three. So Insane sort of was one of my topics I was going to bring. So on Giants topic, Alex Pavlovich says they were talking about how the front office wants to rebuild the bullpen internally and through minor league signings and camp invites. Okay. I have no problem with that if you do that with the offense. But when you're going to do that with your pitching staff, you have a problem. You have a team that strikes out way too much, can't hit, and you only have really 2 starters. But you're going to be doing the bullpen through guys that have never done it before. Why don't you just blow the whole thing up? I'd rather, now again, the Giants not picking a lane, they're going with a half staff. What the hell is that? I'm sorry, but we're the San Francisco Giants, okay? That's something like Tampa Bay would do, or something like somebody who else I'm thinking of, Detroit Tigers without Scooble. They're thinking of the future. These horrible, might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And if that's true, and Alex is reporting right, that's not fair to the franchise. I mean, you guys threw Buster in our face. You told us we were going to go for it and make the fans happy. And now you're going to be taking more crumbs onto a team and hope they stick, and it's the bullpen. I'm sorry, but you can get away with that when you're maybe 8th, 9th hitter, but you can't do that with the bullpen. As we know with the Giants, we averaged 4.2 innings last year, except for Webb, who did pitch a lot of innings. The other guys, the average night it was worse than an opener. Some nights 3 innings, 4 innings. I'm sorry, but the Giants, their strength has to be the bullpen. And we were good last year for the first 4 months, but now we're going to regress and say we're too cheap. We're not going to sign anybody, and we're going to take guys of camp invites. I'm sorry, but camp invites means 25 other teams don't want them, or that means they're coming off double shoulder surgery, broken fingers and everything, and we're going to give them a chance. I mean, my God, I don't mean to be bad. 15 so I can start rolling. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And it frustrates me because the Giants last year, Eric, as I brought up, they're only spending 40% of what they made. Where in the hell is the rest of the money going? All right. I'm sick and tired of the owners just putting the money in their pockets and not giving us a product. Right now, our product is worse than last year. Worse. We don't know who our number 3 starter is, our number 4, our number 5. Okay. We don't know who the 6th inning guy is. We don't know who the closer is because I don't want that guy from last year. No goddamn way. And we don't have an 8th inning guy. My God, it's embarrassing.
Who's coming in
the
strong?
A Giants have more than us. The AAA Giants at least have some kind of uniform of a team. We have nothing. It's it's frustrating. All right, I'm done for at least 2 minutes.
Reminds me of the old days. Remember in football, Eric? Remember back in the 70s? You might remember it in the 70s, going back it's more your time zone there, Lou. Remember the run? They'd have the football clubs in the CFL and the NFL and back to the AFL days. We used to have their run, pass, and kick contests in like Kmart parking lots to find the next superstar. That's what the Giants always do. What did I say last night to you? I came up with a great line, Eric. You missed it. Dude, Eric, I was in fine shape. Lou was bringing it last night. Remember I said last night the Giants have got to stop, trying to polish turds looking for diamonds. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean,
I got the new slogan for the Giants. I got the new slogan. I just figured it out.
This should be good.
Glenn, it's your favorite video. Who ordered the poo-poo platter? Giants baseball. How great would that be? And put that thing on. Platter.
Giants baseball 26.
Hey, who ordered the poo-poo platter?
There you go,
man. Larry, here we go. Wow. I mean, look. I don't know. Look, and what's up, Anthony? Look at Matt's skills, man. You're naming them off, but you haven't named the right person.
But it's funny, you know what? We're not the only ones. Every other, you tune into other podcasts, everybody seems to have it. We're all on the same page. The media course, so to speak. We're all on the same page. And you know what? There are a lot of veterans who show up in their podcasts, and they know what they're talking about. I mean, there were guys who used to be players. I mean, that know what they're talking about. They know what the Giants need. But do the Giants know what they need? I don't know. I don't know. People were talking about, like you say, kicking the tires on Bellinger. You had a chance to get a guy like Bellinger when he was cheap. He couldn't hit with the Dodgers. Now that his value, you got to pay an extra $30 million a year for him. More. Oh, let's go kick the tires on Bellinger now. You didn't want him then. You didn't want to. It's the same with Senga. If you know what? On that kind of attitude, if you didn't want him then, I don't want him now. Because why, if I'm not willing to pay him this much cheap, get him on a good price, and then all of a sudden, geez, he's great now. Let's go get him. I don't like that, Eric. Why, if you're not willing to get the guy and spend the money, then don't bring him in now. Just the way I feel.
Well, I mean, to go back to what Lou was saying, because what has Buster Posey said since he was president of baseball ops, right? Last year when he got announced, hold on, let me get into this. What did he say? He said, I want to build memories and all this other crap. At the end of the season, didn't go quite as where we needed to be. He still said he wants to put out a good product about memories and all this other, right? So he's saying that. At no time did I hear any semblance of a rebuild. And Lou, you know this team a little bit more because you've been going to games for your entire adult life for the most part. Have the Giants ever rebuilt? Ever? Have they ever rebuilt?
No.
And why would they do that now? And maybe, okay, look, does it mean that it will never happen? No, but I don't think that's what Buster Posey is trying to do. And I'll go back to just the recent. You just got to look at what has happened, what has transformed right before our eyes. He drove home the extension. He got Adames. He got Devers, right? We keep going over this over and over and over. You don't go out there and sign Justin Verlander on a 1-year deal to go out there and say, we're just rebuilding. It doesn't seem that way. And I don't think in one offseason that Buster Posey all of a sudden goes, no, we're not going to do that. I just don't see that pivot. I just don't. And again, we'll see what happens. One thing is for sure, they don't want to spend no money. And I'm tired. Again, guys, I'm tired of hearing it. And then look, this is something that's been going on with the Giants fans for eons. I'm tired of the checking in on and engaging and looking in and hey, they're having discussions. Let's just get something done. And what's pissing me off, and I'll tell you, and this is something we talk about all the time this time of the year. My God, 5 days after the conclusion of Game 7 of the World Series, you were able to start talking to people, whether it's players or other teams, about trades. How does it take over a month to figure out what the hell do you want? You either want this guy or you don't want this guy. Period. End of story. What is the issue here? You either have the guys that they want or you don't. It doesn't take a month to figure that out. Again, I am not in any way, shape, or form privy to what happens in these negotiations, but my God, what in the hell is going on? Something has to something has to go here. It has to.
Eric,
look real quick, and we got cheaper guys. Okay, we got. Oh, there we go. Cool. Who is that? Let me go back up real quick. I'll come back to this. Who said that? Do you know? I'm going back up.
Who said what?
We got a winner.
Yeah, we got a winner. Where is it?
Good.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Okay, let me finish this.
Sorry.
Eagle eye.
Where the hell was I? Where the hell was I? Talking about free agents and everything. My God, I totally freaking lost it. It's gone. It'll come back. But my God, I mean, it's just, I don't understand why it takes this damn long. And what I hope isn't happening, I hope the Giants as an organization aren't just going to everybody and asking, what do you have? Or what can we do? I mean, I hope they're being a little bit specific in what they want to do rather than just saying, and I use the term using a shotgun and trying to find talent where you're just, it's a widespread thing rather than focusing. And yes, you gotta have.
And Eric, I think your first year is having a game plan. You have 4 needs. Start with need 1. Get that, then you can move on to 2. It's like right now we're all over the place. We're going anywhere we can. We don't have a compass. We're lost, and it's frustrating because it seems like
good line.
We knew the meetings were happening. We were frustrated, but now there's 3 items every day, but they're never the Giants.
Hey, Lou, and this is where I was going. So you got these cheaper guys coming off the board. Adolis Garcia going to the Phillies. Ha-Seong Kim going back to Atlanta for a massive, I mean, granted, it's 1 year. It's high AAV, but it's 1 year. $20 million for Ha-Seong Kim, dude.
Braves are going for it. Braves are going for it.
And look, they just recently traded for Mauricio Dubon. They also went out there and brought back Rosell Iglesias, and they went out there and got freaking Robert Suarez. So
Eric,
look, I mean, they're putting together a pretty. They got their coaching staff done.
A new manager.
They
very
got
exciting. They're bringing Atlanta baseball back.
Hey, look, Anthopoulos doesn't mess around. He has a game plan. He goes out there and he executes it. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. And look, and here's the thing. It's getting to the point here, guys, where either the Giants are going to go big or they're going nowhere because all these lower guys are starting to come off the board. Yeah. I mean, and the whole checking in on Bellinger, I just don't buy it. I don't see the Giants doing that. I just don't. And look, we could be totally wrong. They could announce in another half hour that hey, deal is consummated. We are going to sign Cody Bellinger. it's it's more as a fan, it's more frustrating sitting back and just wondering where are we going with this. I don't know.
Eric, I said to Lou last night, it is dangerous. I think I brought it up in a recent show as well. Do you guys not agree with me that it is dangerous? The way they play this game, it's like holding a stick of dynamite. You go all in. They always go. This year, the big name, the pretty name, the sexy name seems to be Framber Valdez. Well, it seems like every year they have their sexy pick. And then if they don't get them, then we're like, all right.
I don't even know if they're even trying to get
2 weeks doing shows talking about what do we do now? They don't get their man, they're screwed. And that's what happens every year.
And you know what it may be? It may just be very well they're trying to get trades done and it's just not working out the way they want it. That could very well be the issue here. Here, before we get any further, holy shit!
Well, Eric's playing with his balls again. There he goes.
There's the big man in a red suit. Holy crap! We do have a winner. Holy crap! And who is it? It's our good buddy Aaron. Right, look at this. What was the secret word, guys? Oh, here, let me show you.
All right, that's good.
There it is. Will Clark. Look at that. Look how many names he dropped in there. Christy Mathewson, John McGraw, Austin Slater, Kevin Mitchell, Will Clark, Robbie Thompson, and Steve Scarsoni. There.
Listen, we would have really been scraping the bottom of the barrel if we had used Steve's name as the name of the day. Jeez.
Oh my God!
I don't even know who that is. Who is Steve Scarsoni? Bam Bam or whatever that guy, the hitter.
That was Steve Balboni. Steve Balboni.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know who Scarsoni is.
All right, Aaron, what you got, man? That's what number do you got, Aaron?
Remember, 6, 7, and 8 are out.
6, 7, and 8 are gone. 6 went to G. Joshua got 8. Dan got number 7.
And hey, Lou, nobody can ever poo-poo on our pick of the name. Who the hell? I'm still trying to figure out who the Cornelius brothers, the 70s rock band, or Cornelius the chimpanzee.
Oh, I like it. 12 because they go 0-12 and run scoring position. I like it.
That's pretty freaking good.
Wow, Rob Deere, that was a good guess. Good guess.
That was great.
Hey, how's Aaron feeling these days, too? Look at that.
Much better. I'm feeling much better. Oh, Aaron? No, he's hanging in there. I think he's still out of work for now, but he'll be back there soon enough. Again, had to get that pesky appendix taken out. So yeah, appendectomy.
Have you had that? Any of you guys done that? I had that done.
Never had that. Thank God. Knock on wood.
Eric, I just want to say 2 comments further than what you said. Maybe the Giants, Eldridge is off the board, but people are looking, saying, are you kidding me? You want a guy of major league caliber, and you want me to take these guys in AAA and AA that have been there for 8 or 9 years? Maybe they're realizing our farm system is as bad as everyone thinks they are, being fans. You know what I mean? And again, I don't trust Susan for 2 reasons. I think she's on the Giants payroll. She was the same person that said, oh my God, everybody wants Luciano. Oh my God, I've never heard so much chatter. Okay, thanks.
Give her a call on that.
The other thing too, Eric, is we haven't had the new flavor of the week or flavor of the month. If you remember, when the Giants were trying to hire a manager, we had a flavor of the month for 3 weeks. And then he got cool, and then he came back. And people, Susan, Alex, 100%, he's going to be our new manager. It wasn't Tony. It was a former Giant, Nick Hundley. Remember? He was the flavor. And then all of a sudden we go, oh, my God, they're going to go somewhere else. And that's the other problem. Hiring a manager should be simple. You when you fire a manager, in the back of your mind, you should know who you have to replace. They should have brought Tony in right away, right? Same thing with these ball players. You brought up trades. Really, when you look at it, our contracts are so big, nobody wants our players. Like Chapman would be great, but we'd probably have to pay $10 million of the $26 million. And that's the big problem. The other thing is the Giants right now is they have a half a team, that's fine, but they don't seem to realize other teams are trying to get better above us, that we're going to be competing with for the third wild card. Atlanta Braves right now are going all in. Okay. They are doing whatever it takes to get back to the playoffs. Arizona signed, Kelly last night, back again. They're trying to trade who's the player that to the Giants? Sterling, not Sterling, Martell. Marte.
Oh, Marte.
Yeah.
Marte.
Right. So now that's their best player. So what they might be doing is saying, hey, listen, Marte only has 2 years. We can maybe get 2 guys that could be on a major league team for him. Let's do it. But they're trying to improve. The Padres, I know they're sort of all over the place, but they still have their team.
They're trying to shop. Listen to this. They're trying to shop Mason Miller, the guy they traded the number 1 draft pick in the top 100. And again, it makes me wonder.
If you had a chance to get
who
Mason
does
Miller,
the top 100?
Would you trade Eldridge and one of your minor leagues for Miller?
Nope. Not for me.
No.
Nope. But here's let me back up. The Marte was like the flavor of the hour because it only lasted a few hours. The guy's on the Giants are on his no trade list. And he's on the no trade list for a reason. So he ain't gonna come here. That whole going down that road made no sense whatsoever. Why in the God's
flavor of the hour? I like that. I like that. Flavor of the hour.
Why would you trade Bryce Eldridge, your top prospect, to your rival and then get Marte back? Don't get me wrong, Marte is great, but there's no way you're going to do that. Plus, he's on your no trade. So guess what? It ain't happening. It's not going to work. It's not working. Forget about it.
Yeah. But then people like Susan Slusser spin it as, but he'd waive it to come to San Francisco.
No, he wouldn't. You're spinning your wheels with deals like that. It's stupid.
I agree.
It just now Donovan. Okay, that makes sense a little bit, right? That makes a little bit of sense. Now, whether or not that's going to come to fruition, who the hell knows? We don't know. But real quick, you got Blake. Love being a Dodgers fan, and think about this. If you're a Dodgers fan, you just have to sit back.
Relax, Eric.
You ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to do nothing.
Show up in October.
You ain't gonna do nothing. They have no worries. They got their team, man. And they went out there and got a closer. And you know what? Katie Wu was reporting earlier. They're probably gonna do something big. They don't have to. They don't have to. But you know what? They're damn well are because they're the Dodgers and they're gonna do whatever it takes to win. Here's the thing. They always want to make their team better.
Yep.
And I have absolutely no issue with that.
No complacency, Eric.
Do I root for them? No, there are mortal enemies, right? But you got to respect that they go out there and they have a mindset to go, you know what? Nice. We're going to make the team better.
Yep.
Nice. And here's the thing too. I've been having some conversation. I don't mean to go long, but here's the problem. People who own baseball clubs, are they baseball people? Are these billionaires who own teams? Are they? Most of them are not baseball fans. So that being said, what do you got to do? You got to hire someone who is a baseball guy to run your organization, right? Now, here's the key. If you have a ownership group that is fully on board, you make those baseball decisions and we will cut the checks, right? And some owners are going to have a budget and that's fine. But if that relationship between Pobo and ownership, if there's a little bit of a fracture, what are you going to get done? You're not going to get anything done. And that's why Dodgers are absolutely killing it because they got an ownership that says, okay, because Friedman, he makes pretty damn good deals.
It's all about the win. It's all about the ring.
And Andrew Friedman, if you think about it, when he was in Tampa Bay, he was putting together some pretty damn good teams on a low budget. Now he's been given quote unquote the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
And he goes out there and they take care of business. Now it would be nice to have an ownership group that is similar to that. And again, does it mean you got to go out there and spin like the Dodgers? You don't have to. You could spend a little bit more than what you're doing and still put together a pretty damn good team. But I don't know. It's more wait and see. I'm tired of it. We got to sit. You got to wait. You got to see, right? You got to sit. You got to wait. You got to see. It's stupid, man. And again, to the point of Blake, as a Dodger fan, No worries, man. You're good. When is the end of March, beginning of April? They got no worries. And we're sitting here trying to get above 500.
Yeah, but you're talking about teams, Eric, too, that are gently kind of massaging the system again this offseason and they're picking up pieces, little pieces here and pieces there. Braves. I mean, the Braves haven't gone out and signed the best players in the league, but they're putting together a nice ball club. Well, it's the fact that we just sit in limbo so often and for so long, and it seems like we're never privy to a move until January. And like last year, I'm like, Eric, you worried? Nope. You worried in December? Nope. You worried in January? A little bit. You worried in February? And like, hell yeah, because this just goes on and on and on. Do you see, like you said, there could be a move. And somebody criticized us, or me particularly, in the chat the other night. They're like, well, Glenn poo-poos and Glenn's bitching about the team and everything. Well, he'll change his tune if there's a big deal next week. I'm like, of course I will. As it sits today, there's nothing to think that we're going to compete next year, Eric. Right now, nothing that show like we are non-competitive. We're non-starters right now in the National League Western Division. And that concerns me.
And here, okay,
and that is reality, boys. That is just a reality.
Until something comes down the pike, all we could say is right now it looks bleak, but it's bleak because of the lack of any movement. That's what it is. And here's the thing: if the Giants strike out, how many is Buster Posey going to start catching some flack from people? I don't know.
I think he already is in a way or two.
I think there's certain. Yeah, I'm seeing in chat. I see people kind of getting on now, but where is that in the predominance of the fan base? I don't know.
But then there's part of the fan base who will whatever he does, he can do no wrong either. So I mean.
I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to switch super salty and put it under both you guys. It's the holidays. This are the 12 days of giving. Put me in a good mood. Show me how it could be. That's what I want to be. I want to be today. I want to see something. Yeah, show me a few 12 days. Get everyone fired up.
Christmas returns to Giant Sports Talk Live. Ho, ho, ho. Be watching Giant Sports Talk Live for the 12 days of Giant Sports Talk Christmas. We'll announce one qualifier each night for 12 days, and on Christmas Eve, we'll draw for a grand prize of a Giants game day experience with Glenn, Eric, and Lou Marsden, which includes front row dugout seating and refreshments, and a bonus prize of a Will Clark autographed team helmet. To qualify, simply be watching Giant Sports Talk Live and pick a number between 1 and 12. Then on Christmas Eve, Santa's elves, Glenn and Eric, will randomly choose the grand prize winner. The 12 days of Giant Sports Talk Christmas on Giant Sports Talk Live. Brought to you by Tommy's Mexican Restaurant, where it's always a festive time of year. Giant Sports Talk Live, a Northern Lights Entertainment broadcasting station.
That's for everybody. That's for all those people who are like nice. And then there's the people who are not.
Hey, who wanted the poo-poo platter?
Yeah, you won't get nothing. Big lump of
Oh my God.
Lou and I are getting ready. Lou and I might not be able to show up for about 3 nights, Eric, because we might be in like recovery mode because he and I are going to hit the town about another few days, 3 or 4 more days right? This weekend.
Saturday, right?
Well, that's going down, Eric. That's going down. Yeah.
Nice.
And I get to meet, I don't know if Glenn's going solo or I get to meet Mrs. Glenn. I might have to be on my best behavior. Who knows? If I know she's coming, I might shave. Who knows?
She asked me if Dan's going to be there. I don't know if that meant she really wanted to go or really didn't want to go, but she was like, I hope Dan goes. I said, Dan's not even in California. She thought, like me, she actually thought after the show the other night, she thought Dan lives here. I remember when I was just a viewer, Eric.
Yeah, you thought we were in California.
You didn't have to listen to me every night. When I would check in with you and your partner over on the other channel when you were over there, and I used to put out. Remember, I said, "Let's do a roll call." Where I thought everybody's from the Bay Area, because it's a Giants show. And I couldn't have been further from the truth. And as you see with our just the people who are qualifying, Eric, it doesn't mean you're from the Bay Area if you're a Giant fan. So, and age. Remember one night I said, Eric, I can't tell this guy's 12 or 72. So
you never know. You don't know because all you see is text. You don't. There's no cameras in everybody's living room or.
I'm looking forward to the weekend, though. Like they say, Lou, or like I say, it's always a festive time of the year. So I'm looking forward. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's it. See you guys tomorrow.
Is that it?
I mean, no. It's just what else is to talk? There's nothing else to talk. There's nothing else to talk about. What else?
Eric,
what other Giants news is out there? Talk to me.
You brought up the word bleak. Things are
hold on.
bleak, and all I think of now is Cornelius running down the mountain, and there's an avalanche or something. Eric, it's just
gotta go watch it. You gotta go watch it. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's a classic.
Cornelius. I can't get that out of my mind.
Yukon Cornelius, man. Guy was a hell of a miner. Tony Vitello is in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, what do you think about that? So he's visiting his Big Four. Did you happen to see that? He's visiting his Big Four, which is fine. Obviously, the Giants are paying for that, but how about he's down there beside kicking it with the guys, trying to find talent? That's what I want to hear. Come back with some guys nobody's heard of. Help me out here.
And look, we got the international draft that's going to be occurring here the beginning of the year, and the Giants are poised to get the number 1 pick, and that guy is gonna be something. That guy is supposed to be something. So, as a matter of fact, there's talk. I think Alex Pavlovich was talking about it. He may skip the entire Dominican Summer League. He may come straight to freaking San Jose and start playing. And this is only. And listen to this. This kid's only 17 years old. So
we got a lot of guys all right at that age. What position is this guy?
Infielder, shortstop.
Yeah.
Shortstop, yeah. Josar Gonzalez is also supposed to be a shortstop. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out because you got a couple of guys who are right there in the same age. Josar and Luis. They're about the same age. One's from Venezuela. The other one's from the Dominican Republic. So, I mean, they're just both Spanish speaking, which is big, right?
All we're hearing is good things about these guys, too. I haven't heard a negative.
I've heard nothing. Yeah. And look, and the good thing about these guys is they're not one-dimensional, right? It's just not about power. How everyone's obsessed with the power, and I get it. I understand. But these guys got something more than just that. They can play defense. They can run the bases. They can hit for average, and they also got some pop. So
sort of like Lou Marsden. There you go.
There you go.
So they live and breathe. They live and breathe ball. And I think some of these guys that we've signed, I don't think they do that. The young guys are hungry. They want to prove their point. They want to show off their arm. They want to show off their defense. They want to show they can hit in clutch situations. That's what we need. But, the problem is when they're that young, it's probably still another 3 or 4 years away. But at least we have, we can see it somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like right now.
It's different, right? It's a little bit different because these guys haven't even graduated high school. And they're signing multi-million-dollar contracts. We don't know. Honestly, it's a bunch of hype, right? We've
broken it down a lot too on the show over the past couple of months, Eric. But there's still fans out there who we had some people in the chat, Lou and I, when we were doing the show last night. Lou, did we not have people that were calling, like, oh, this guy's going to be good, or this guy? They're not even on our roster, or what's his name? I said we don't have Wilmer. We don't have Wilmer. And then, Lou, you brought up the other guy there we got from the Mets organization, the first
Dom Smith.
And Dom Smith.
We're like,
but we have no replacement for these guys.
We don't even have Dom.
No.
Yeah.
That's a good point. We've lost these guys, and who's going to fill their shoes?
You sold me on him last year, Eric. You're like,
I love Dom Smith. I like Dom Smith, but I don't know where he plays. Honestly, I don't know. And look, he might get some playing time elsewhere. It looks like he's not going to go to the Mets because they signed Polanco.
Did you watch the replay, or did you just say, "Oh, frick, it's Lou and Glenn"? I'm not watching the show. Yeah, okay, I figured as much. But let's test Eric. Lou came to an initial agreement right away with me. I said, where do you think, what team in baseball do you think would sign Wilmer Flores tomorrow? What's the one team you go, Wilmer would fit that team? And it took Lou all of about 6 seconds.
Where would he fit perfectly? Dodgers. He wants to get his ring.
We
Bench
all
player.
thought that the Blue Jays.
Could, yeah. The Blue
Clutch
Jays got
hitter
a lot
off
of
the
those guys.
bench.
Yeah. Blue Jays got a lot of those guys already, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look at Chardol. $2. Hey, gentlemen. I'll sing Christmas carols. On this
You're
video.
not going to believe this.
Nope.
We brought
Ain't following that.
we brought the karaoke machine to the show, the post game last night, right, Lou?
Yeah. Because we knew you were
Thanks,
down
Lou.
and out. So we
Yeah,
had
you
to
remember
bring
how that starts? Eric, I know you're down and you're not feeling good today. So Chardol sing a song for you with every time he sings it, he forgets the chorus, but
Yeah, don't
using
stop.
Okay, here we go. Senior goes, guys haven't played any pro ball, but Eldridge has dominated every level he has. Just turned 21. People are calling him a bust. I don't think he's a bust.
I don't think he's a bust.
I don't think he's a bust. No, that I don't want people thinking that I think he's a bust.
Ooh.
I'm just saying that he's one-dimensional to a certain extent, right? We all can agree. He only can play one position. He can play one position, and that's first base.
Yeah.
That's where they've had him for gosh, how many years now? Playing first base. They haven't had him out in the outfield and DH. And here's the thing. Why would you want a 21-year-old as a DH? For me, it doesn't make sense. And he's blocked. This is this is not me. This is what I'm seeing. The San Francisco Giants, I'm looking right here. The San Francisco Giants at first base is Devers. He's if you listen to Zach Manasian, he had an interesting comment to say a couple of days ago on MLB radio, and it sounds like Devers is going to get the bulk of the work at first base.
And he should.
That's what they're doing. I mean, that's the facts of what the Giants are doing. And that leaves Bryce Eldridge as a DH. And I think that's just a waste. They're going to have, and where do you put him? I don't know. That's not my job. I have no idea. This guy could be phenomenal. I hear all these people talking. He has the potential of being a 40 home run guy, but that's like this with all prospects, right? All these, just like even with Joe Sarr and Luis, there's potential, right? They got to go out there and do it, and then we'll see what the heck they have. But we just don't know, and that's the problem. Is unfortunately in Bryce's situation, the position that he is most qualified to play is blocked. That's just the way it is.
And what does that tell you about the organization? And for him, if you're his agent, Eric, you're going to the Giants going, I mean, you know what? Play him or move him. This is, and you're 21 years old. Do you think Bryce Eldridge, with the talent he has, goes, yeah, I'm going to be content to sit at the end of the bench and be a DH at 21? No way. I'd say, get me out of here.
And here's the thing, and I keep going back to this. Do the Giants like to spend money?
Not really.
No. Okay. But what did they do in June last year? They traded for a $300 million player in Rafi Devers.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would they go and do that if you have your heir apparent on the cusp of making the major leagues? Because when they made that deal, Bryce Eldridge was in Sacramento, right? He was in Sacramento playing first base. So
I think I know, Eric.
So why would the Giants go out and sign, I should say, trade for Rafi Devers and take on all that money? If you had,
know why?
You had your own guy in-house. You would only have to pay him $750,000 a year.
Yeah.
And for 6 years, right? So why would they do that if they were so confident and so sure of themselves that Bryce Eldridge is going to be the answer at first base? I think there's a little bit of, maybe he's just not ready yet. And that's fine because he's young and that's possible. But I'm just saying his only position is first base. Look, I'm here. I don't know what the Giants are going to do. It's just, they're in a conundrum as far as what they're going to do with first base. Well, I shouldn't say it's a conundrum because it's going to be Devers for the next 8 years. I
think it goes back to what we talked about on the show many nights, Eric, already this offseason, and that is, why did they sign him last year for that and take on that contract when you had him? It's because, quite simply, you know what you get in Devers, Eric.
Yes, that's a fact. Yeah, you can say that.
You don't. No.
You just don't know. And
And
that's
if
a fact.
Devers was there for the taking and they were willing to spend, why wouldn't you?
But it does block your most valuable asset as far as he was the number one prospect, or I should say is the number one prospect for the San Francisco Giants. And pretty soon,
Yeah, I'm okay
it'd
with
be-
that. Lou, don't you agree with me, Lou, that I've said on other shows about, get Tariq. Oh, we don't have room for him. The Dodgers would take him, and then you worry about it later. So you get Devers, and you got to worry about what you do with Eldridge later. You worry about it. You get the best players. You don't go, we didn't get him because we might have a good guy. You get the best players, and then let the chips fall where they may for the other people in your organization. That's why the Dodgers, Eric, I think, and Lou compete, because people say, well, they got 9 starters, and they just signed another one. Yeah. They keep getting better. So, they got to get rid of another pitcher and another pitcher. That they still get better pitchers on the top end. So it's a revolving. You got to keep that wheel spinning. And that's when teams, they rest on their laurels. A winning organization, they win 4 or 5 years or win a championship, and then they just fall into complacency. The Dodgers are never complacent.
it doesn't seem like they are.
Never.
Doesn't seem like they are. I don't know whether could that ever set in? Maybe, but at this particular time, it isn't. And as a Giants fan,
I think you bring up a great point. I think maybe the Giants, either two things. Either they realize Eldridge might not be as good as they thought, and you take Devers because you know how great he is. He's a proven, right? Or the Giants are so desperate to get a bat, it doesn't matter where he played. We have to get him because we haven't, as you notice, it wasn't that we got him because he was first base. If you remember, we got him originally. He didn't want to play third base. Remember with Boston, he signed that contract only a year before. And I think maybe it might be one of these situations. And this is probably the biggest problem with the Giants front office in the last couple of years. They did it and they said, okay, now we got him. What are we going to do? Because last year at this time in September, right, let's go back. You would have never even heard Eldridge possibly being on the trade block. Why would you do it? We've been hearing about this guy for 2 years. Now all of a sudden you got Devers and you're stuck in the corner. Not only do you have Devers and the 7 more years, you have 3 other guys with big contracts. So you're stuck in the corners. That's typical of the Giants. Well, we wanted to improve the team. I know, but you're blocking our best prospect. I know, but it doesn't matter. Okay, is that because your prospect now, all of a sudden you guys don't believe in him? Because remember, all he did was tip his toes in the water. He batted, 41 times maybe? So how do you not know he's not good? Well, we just wanted to get a name. Okay, well, why did you need to make the trade? We were a game out of first place. When you remember the trade happened, we were a game out of the first place. Well,
playing the Dodgers.
We have to do it. Okay, but you guys, sometimes it's like one of those things where you always hear the excuses, I had to go for it. Okay, but you're not thinking thoroughly. You don't see other teams when they have a big prospect that would make this move. So, and the other thing too is at the time when you had Dom Smith playing first, Eldridge they were going to bring up. You also had Flores playing first, but now you get Devers. So really they had 4 first basemen almost at one time.
Yes, they did.
So the other thing too is why we had that, our bullpen was lacking because we gave 2 away. I mean, it was sort of like the first year of Buster Minaya was a disaster when it came to moves, the 26-man roster, the 40-man roster, the way they handled Luciano, the way they handled Ramos. It was very lackadaisical and very minor league. And then you had a leader in Melvin that made no sense of all of it. Ramos fucks up, does every problem possible, should have been benched, didn't listen to the coaches. Well, I have nobody else. Melvin, that's a horrible leader. You know what I mean? So I think, last year, everything that could go wrong went wrong. And this is still another thing coming over because until you brought that up, I really never thought of that. But then I said, my God, at one time we had 4 first basemen.
Yeah.
And we had a DH from the Mexican League who tried to play outfield, but he was a disaster. So, I mean, just some bad quality moves and I use this phrase a lot, that didn't fit the puzzle. So now what's happening, Eric and Glenn, what's the worst thing when you make a puzzle? When you're missing that last piece and you go, where is it? Right? Because you can't complete the full shebang. And I think that's where the Giants are now. They're sort of confused. You bring up a great point. Again, I was right. I think the other thing is we've been waiting for Eldridge for like 2 years. And everyone said this guy's a new superstar. The combination, Jack Clark, Will Clark, right? But we didn't really think about his position. All we talked about is offensive skills. Now we have him, and we're bringing him to the prom, but there's a problem. It's sort of amazing. And I think the biggest problem with the fans, we're sort of sick of the excuses because the Giants keep crying wolf, but the wolf's not there. It's just excuse central. And I see we have a super chat, so that's more important than me going off.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But
sorry.
You talk about, you go ahead, go and talk about, you get that real quick and then I'll.
No, just you get one signing or a trade. Who is it? And, I think he means be reasonable and who can they afford? Who really, it's like saying that I want to throw a party in the backyard. What band do I want to? Oh, let's get U2. They got to be reasonable. I mean, I ain't putting a concert in my backyard, putting U2 on a stage. Who do the Giants get that really fit? Is it a Marte? Is it like, I'm trying to think of, you guys jump in, Eric, Lou.
I go with the signing. I'd sign Ranger Suarez. 5 years, 150. Give him $30 million a year, and freaking defer a few of it.
So you're go big.
Yeah, you need a starting pitcher. The Giants need, because Robbie Ray is going to be gone next year. You're going to need a guy that's going to take his spot. So I would go out there and sign Ranger Suarez, $30 million a year for 5 years. You defer $3 to $4 million of it every year.
I'm starting to fall into the line of I don't agree with the defers. Shohei, they got that great defer. I mean, that was the weirdest contract, but the best contract for the Dodgers in baseball history. And everybody goes, "Oh, just get guys to defer." I don't think each guy in baseball is willing to defer. I don't think he'd just say, "Here, well, let's worry. We want you, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you the, but we're going to."
There's a lot
of we're not going to pay you now. We'll pay you later.
There's a lot of deferments.
No.
A lot of these deals have deferments in them. Not big ones. It's not 98% like it was with Shohei, but with Diaz, I think it's 4.5 for each year that he's playing. I think Cease with his big contract has some deferred money.
Yeah, but I think for whatever reason, you don't have to agree with me, guys. But what do you think, Lou? If they're a guy, we have a hard enough time for whatever reason. Let's not go down that path tonight. But for whatever reason, we have a hard enough time getting guys to play at Oracle Park or in San Francisco. However way you want to slice it. So does that make us the team that should be talking about deferrals? I think we should be more talking about referrals and other guys refer players to us and try to get some guys in.
The deferrals only helps to keep the team more competitive, so you can spend more money. That's the only reason why you have those deferrals.
I just think we have a tough enough time to keep a toe in the water in this whole thing.
You give him $30 million a year for 5 years. That's hard to say no to. Unless he's getting a better offer somewhere else. Because he said reasonable. I say that's reasonable. Now, reasonable may not work for San Francisco. It just may not.
No.
But I'm going to go back to what Lou was talking about. You're talking about desperation, right? And I was thinking about this earlier today. And look, I don't know this to be true. This is just my idea coming off the top of my head. Did Buster Posey show some desperation last year? In June, what did we do? Talking about the Giants. You traded for Rafi Devers. Everything was looking great. What happened a month later? We're trading away everybody. All right? Because we fell out of it. All right? What I'm wondering is there other GMs and Pobos out there in this offseason going, we got the Giants by the short and curlies, so to speak, because they know, because they already had their owner come out and say, we're not going to spend money. So what's the only logical reason or logical direction the Giants can go? Is trades. So what do they got now? So anytime the Giants want to trade for somebody, what are they asking for? Bryce Eldridge, because the Giants have lost that leverage. Buster Posey has traded his bullpen away, or I shouldn't say traded away. You traded away one decent arm, another potential arm. You also traded away Yaz, which is a long-term analysis.
Rogers, Savall. Right? Yeah.
Rochester Ball,
I don't think his trades were that bad, Eric. He traded guys who
here's the point.
Was right.
The point I'm making is he's selling off after you just got done trading. It shows a little bit of desperation in the air. Again, these guys, they're like sharks with blood in the water. If they see that you're hamstrung because you're not going to be able to spend, well, we're gonna extract every damn player we can from you because that's the only route you can go. So So either you make the deal or you don't make the deal. So I mean,
Eric, we should have been adding instead of subtracting.
Yeah.
I thought if you're going to take Devers, you got to go for it. I'm going to throw something out there. The police, I haven't even said it yet. Hold on.
Oh, that's great.
Right on. Lou hasn't even given his. He hasn't gotten into his dating tips yet.
Man, that's funny.
All right, I got something that maybe we could do, and I know that was a team we wanted to go after. But how about since they just picked up Pete Alonso, we make a trade with Baltimore. We trade Eldridge, we trade Bailey. Hold on. And we trade one of our young pitchers, and we take their catcher, and we take their second baseman. So Rashford and Holiday. They're young. Crap. They don't have big contracts. We're giving up three players for their two. You got to remember, because they're not going to be able to. Pete Alonso just signed a huge contract, so these guys aren't going to be able to stay. They're not going to be able to sign him. I mean, that's what I want to see Buster think. All right, Alonso's there. They got big money. You know, Patrick Bailey, you know, the problem is we sometimes think our guys are better. I think Patrick Bailey's about a 5.5, maybe 6. Not his offense, but his framing. Okay, we can make a trade. Remember, Baltimore's got 2 catchers. Okay, we need a second baseman. Well, if you know, again, we think Eldridge is like an 8 or a 9. I know he's unproven. I think he's more about a 5 and 6 because he's got to earn his way to become an 8. And then we get one of our young pitchers. We trade 3 for 2. Both guys are young, and we're giving them young stuff. And most importantly, it's all about saving cash.
I got to agree.
You said, hey, let's do something out the thing. I'm just saying.
I agree with Insane though, Lou. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, because Alonso, it's the same thing with the Devers.
You're trading him to a team that why would a team take him when they go first base is solidified for the next 5 years?
And I'll tell you what. How about this? This is what I started thinking about earlier today. Did you see who's going to be the first baseman for the Minnesota Twins?
He's a switch hitter. Somebody I wanted the Giants to get. Josh Bell.
Yeah, he's kind of like does that give you the indication that the Minnesota Twins are wanting to do anything? Not really. So it makes me wonder if they're still going to. They already said that those guys were off the table. Maybe they are, but it makes me wonder if they're willing to move off of whether it's Lopez or Ryan. So
right, yeah.
I guess maybe there's something there. Maybe there isn't. I don't know. We don't know. Honestly, we have absolutely no idea.
All I know, I'm going to say something. When Labor Day hits,
and we shouldn't.
If Eldridge is batting 220, I'm writing everyone's name on this chat saying, oh, we shouldn't have traded him, because by that time, in our chat, they're going to say, get rid of this bum. He's not as good as we thought. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I'm writing everyone's name here on the chat. And on September 1st, when the Giants are about 5 games below 500, and it's like, oh, and the other thing, Eric, we spoke about last night, and I hope it goes okay, but Webb's arm is not, he's not the $6 million man. He's pitched 207, 204, 202 innings. I know he has a very unique system but he's been blessed where he has not been hurt. You know what I mean?
And I think there's a reason why he doesn't go high velocity. He just throws it hard enough because it's all about the movement of the ball.
Yeah, and I agree, but I just think we're lucky.
Yeah.
Because
we are. Question. There's no doubt about it.
We have Ray, who got injured before, came off Tommy John. Now he's back, but he's prone to get injured. Whatever to the Giants if something happens to Webb. And I'm saying either, his arm gets dead or a 100-mile-an-hour fastball comes back, and he just needs to take 3 weeks off. Our pitching staff goes from average, almost like, are you kidding me? That's all I'm saying.
That's
we're
why
I say that every year, though, Lou.
They
I
gotta
say
get
that
it
every year. I said that on the show last. You're stealing my thunder now, Lou. I said that on the show last night. I said, what happens is the end of April? We get off to a decent start, and I say, all right, we lose Webb for the next month and a half. You go, oh, we got Robbie Ray. We don't have a pitching staff. We don't have a staff where the Dodgers have a staff where somebody could go down for the year, and it's
And they'll be
business as
fine.
usual.
Yeah.
We would be in trouble. That's when they would go out and they would be,
Yeah.
let's just sign this
Look.
guy. Let's get some guy who hasn't pitched in 4 years. They'd be going out trying to fill it with crap.
And yeah, I agree. And Eric, I'm only saying that because Glenn's favorite guy, Robert Rothberg, guaranteed that
Easy
Webb's
now.
going to win the Cy Young next year. Guaranteed to win the Cy Young.
Wow.
So I just wanted
Damn,
to throw that
Robert.
out.
That's bold. But I'll tell you, and look, we could just do this before we get out of here. What is the most essential move that the Giants have to make in this offseason? The most essential move.
I think it's a pitcher, but you know what? Again, proving us wrong. All the chatter, even Major League Baseball Network, MLB Radio, the newspapers, Eric, talk radio. What are they saying now? What everybody thought was now they're saying it's Giants are heavy. They got to get a second baseman. I thought that
I don't know where that came from. Yeah.
Need one. Well, I started that one and it grew legs, right? But that might be on the bottom of my list. But yet everybody's talking second baseman now.
I tell you, it can't be. It has to be starting. You got to get a starting pitcher. It's got to be. And look, I don't think it can be a number 3. I think it has to be a number 2. Because do you see Robbie Ray coming back to the Giants? I don't know if he does, man.
And not even for the future.
What do you think, Eric? He's probably going to be one of 4 or 5 years. So 5-year deal, $120 million. Do you think he's worth it? And that might be too low.
Well, we let a lot of pitchers walk that we shouldn't know over the last few years, Eric.
I don't know, man.
It's a fine line, man.
I don't know.
You complain they want too much.
I don't know, man.
And then
if you had a chance, okay, here, let's do this. If you had a chance to have Ranger Suarez on your team and then Ray goes next year, or would you rather have Ray this year, extend him, and then get, say, a Chris Bassett instead? What would you rather have? Would you rather have Ranger with Ray this year, or would you rather have Ray as an extension and not get Ranger at all and to go sign Chris Bassett? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That one's tough, right? Because Ray's got the potential to do some pretty good stuff. He's Cy Young Award winner, so he's got it. But for me, and as Joshua says, I would rather have Ranger. And again, that's just me. The guy's he's a ground ball pitcher. He's a ground ball pitcher.
Fits the ballpark.
It fits the ballpark. He's a 50%, right? I think a 51% career ground ball rate. So when he does make contact, more than half the time it's on the ground. And that's where your defense comes into play and being able to get those outs.
Yeah, I just want to comment Taylor Rogers Glove. Eric and Glenn don't want to be special advisors for the Giants. They only hired 72 this year. They actually want to have a voice with the Giants. They don't want to be one of these guys. It's almost like every time you meet somebody, they're VP, of something, VP of marketing. Of what department?
Exactly.
I'm just a VP, so.
And there you go. There's an age thing. 4 years old.
I had to go get the mail.
Yeah.
4-year difference nowadays. And when you get a 4 or 5 year
That's
deal,
big.
that means a lot. Yeah. Good point.
Especially when you're on the other side of 30. No, there is. Look, if you're 31, 32, okay, you got to be kind of careful. But when you're already at 34,
I can't say, regardless of who we have signed, you got to agree. You have to agree with me, guys, that if this was opening, I am not excited about the lineup.
Hey, it's
not rushing out to buy tickets.
And that's the thing. It may
Not
just be
excited.
enough. That's the thing. It may just be enough. And that may be what it is. Senior says, why do ground balls matter? Because you play half your games on the road. That's why. You play 80, right? 81 at home, 81 on the road. So, right, if it adds up correctly, half of your games are being pitched in Oracle, and your other half are being pitched on the road. That's the reason why. And look, you still want ground balls, right? It doesn't matter. You still want ground balls because guys still punch it out of the park in Oracle. We've seen it. We've seen it by Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani and Pete Alonso and Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. All these guys can knock the ball out of the park. But again, only half your games are pitched in.
And you have supposedly a Hall of Famer at third defensively. So it's almost like a combo.
Adames' defense was starting to come around, right? His defense was coming around. First base, Devers' defense is coming around. It looks a lot better. Again, Manasian was talking highly on Devers on his play at first. And now you got Juan Washington in the fold to help, quote unquote, smooth out the edges and make them even better. So there we go.
Agree.
Here they come. They're coming to get you.
They turned around. They came back. You thought you were in the clear, Lou.
All right.
That's the highlight of our show. Huh?
That's it. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's the only sirens we hear around here, Eric, on this show.
Right.
I think.
My God.
At least we have a winner that's sort of close. Where's Aaron live? Does he live in the Bay Area? Outside
Aaron, yeah, I
Bay Area?
think yeah, he's in the Bay Area somewhere. South Bay, right? Aaron, I think it's the South
he's
Bay.
close.
I'm in China Basin. Where do you live, Lou? What part of town?
I'm on the other side of town, so I'm more like Upper Marina,
Gotcha,
Pack
Jimmy.
Heights.
Okay.
You know, and
Gotcha,
I
Jimmy.
agree to this. The ownership want to win because you know what? If you look at it, you know when you have guys like Magic Johnson, they're used to winning. You know, it's one of those things. Losing's not in their blood. They'll do whatever it takes to win, and I love it. You know that's the thing. And right now, they are the best ownership in pro sports.
And don't forget,
You know,
even when they weren't winning, Lou, even when they were
Yeah.
not at the top of their game, look back to the 70s and the 80s when you had Steve Garvey and you had Fernando Valenzuela. And there was never a lack of pitching in Los Angeles. And they always had named players.
Yeah. You know,
And they may
that's
not
the
have
one
won the
thing.
World Series, but at least, you had a team that was
And
capable.
they were like the Giants in the 80s were all homegrown.
Hey, how about
That's
in the
what the
60s? Right?
Dodgers
The
have been
Dodgers were
forever.
all pitching, and then the Giants were all hitting.
All hitting,
Giants had
yeah.
Mays and McCovey and Cepeda.
We had
right?
Marichal really and McCormick. That was it.
Yeah, but
Really,
they had
you know.
Drysdale and Koufax. I mean,
Right, yeah.
they had the pitching. Right?
And you got to remember,
Just
back
pitching.
then, you had to win the whole entire National League to go to the World Series.
That's
Yes,
You
right.
didn't have
did.
playoffs. You had
It's
to win the
gotten,
whole
thing.
thing.
it's gotten easier by a tenfold, and we still can't get in. Speaking of
Yeah.
pitching, I just the mailman knocked on my door here. Must be because we're close to Christmas. They're like evening deliveries now. The mail came at noon, and look what I got, Eric. Look what just came in the mail.
Maybe I'll pitch forever. Hey, there you go.
Satchel.
Satchel
David Levin.
Page. You know Satchel Page pitched an entire season.
Every game.
Did you know that?
He pitched an entire season.
The season only was like 110 games the season, and he pitched double headers, pitched the next day. He pitched okay, we're heading to Kansas City for 4, starting pitcher. Leroy. And then we're off to Cincinnati. He was their pitcher. And Eric, now we can't get 3 innings out of a guy every 3 weeks.
Hey, back in the old days, back in the 1900s, a staff had like 3 pitchers. They had 3 pitchers, and they were just going
300
on
innings.
2 days. Yes.
Inning eater.
300 innings.
Granted, were they throwing as fast as they are today? No, but still, you're still going out there throwing 300 plus innings. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're done. We got thanks to Aaron. Way to go and get
Aaron,
the name.
Congrats, Aaron. Big number 12.
He
Thanks
went
to
out
Eric.
there and
Thanks to Eric showing up tonight. Good job, Eric. I'm glad you're feeling better, pal.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yep.
It was just miserable yesterday, man. Absolutely
Well,
miserable.
It's part of getting old, right, Lou?
Oh my God, tell me about
I
it.
think it's this weather.
Oh, just
I know,
I'm
we all
telling you,
complain about the weather.
Lou.
But it's hard.
I don't know how it is over there. Here in the Central Valley, it's been over 10 straight days where the temperature has not exceeded 46 degrees. It's been
that's-
the Thule fog I haven't seen
Yeah.
the sun in over a week.
No. I think in the mornings have been 37 and it's been like 40, 46.
Miserable.
And as soon as the sun goes down, it's back to like 35. And this morning when I went out, smoke in front of me. I felt like I was a football player, on the friendly confines. There was just because that's just how it is. It's ridiculous. And by the way, I don't care that Glenn's used to it. Glenn, our 36 degrees is colder than your 36 up in Saskatchewan or whatever, what city you're in.
Yeah, me in
I'm
Toronto
telling you, it's
yesterday. Today I'm in Saskatchewan.
And Eric, by the way, the highlight of yesterday's show is we got to hear Glenn's calls in hockey. Amazing.
Oh, you did that.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, I took a shot at Dan. Dan was telling he was in our chat last night and he was serenading everybody with tales of his. He wanted to be in the media and he wanted to be a broadcaster. I said, Lou, it's all in fun. And then we decided, I said, Dan can't do this. And then we threw out a few nice bombs from the
There was a
broadcast.
lot of golf claps, on the chat. Like they didn't realize how talented Glenn was.
There you go. There
That's
you
good
go.
stuff.
Anyway,
I've
we had a
seen
lot of
that fish
fun. Lou,
before.
we had a lot of fun last night. Lou, I'm glad
Yeah.
you came in last. We had a lot of fun last night.
Nice.
All right,
But
so
we couldn't
tomorrow's
top tonight.
the big
Chardonnay's
five.
back. Chardonnay's
Tomorrow,
back.
day 5.
Day 5 tomorrow,
Day
baby.
5.
Day
Who's
5.
going to be?
Day
Who's
5.
going to be the winner?
We talking about the
Day 5 of the 12
Christmas
days.
returns to Giant Sports Talk Live. Ho, ho, ho. Be watching Giant Sports Talk Live for the 12 days of Giant Sports Talk Christmas. We'll announce one qualifier each night for 12 days, and on Christmas Eve, we'll draw for a grand prize of a Giants game day experience with Glenn, Eric, and Lou Marsden, which includes front row dugout seating and refreshments, and a bonus prize of a Will Clark autographed team helmet. To qualify, simply be watching Giant Sports Talk Live and pick a number between 1 and 12. Then on Christmas Eve, Santa's elves, Glenn and Eric, will randomly choose the grand prize winner. The 12 days of Giant Sports Talk Christmas on Giant Sports Talk Live. Brought to you by Tommy's Mexican Restaurant, where it's always a festive time of year. Giant Sports Talk Live, a Northern Lights Entertainment broadcasting station.
Hey Lou, let's throw Eric a bouquet. He did a great job with that video for us.
Yeah, not too bad, huh? And don't
Love it.
forget,
Thank you.
Tommy's, home of the Tommy Margarita. It's world famous.
Always
guys.
festive. I'm gonna find out.
You're
Bob.
going to find out on
I'm,
Saturday.
I'm gonna make my first appearance at, and they may not welcome me back. I'm not sure.
That's all right.
Do they have a bouncer at the front door? Do I have to behave myself, Lou? I guess when you go with
You
Lou,
just
Lou is
come
the
in,
bouncer.
We'll sit at the bar and we'll enjoy ourselves. Because remember, Saturday they got all those bowl games back to back to back. So we can watch
there
the
you
Let's
go.
make a day of it, Lou. And a couple of margaritas, man. You might be.
Yeah, hey, you guys, I might have to keep you guys off limits on the show. You guys be coming in all
That's why I told you, Eric. If you don't see us till Tuesday,
just hey,
we're probably
I can-
okay.
I could do it. Just send me a text, say, hey, you guys are feeling good. And
I
then
don't
I
know.
can
I'm
take
too
it.
old for. I can't do those shenanigans anymore like I used to.
All right, let's get the heck out of it. Guys, we'll be back here again tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Do it all over
Thank
again.
you, Jack.
Thanks again, Lou.
Thanks, Jack.
Glenn,
Yeah.
good to be back. Get the hell
Little
out of here.
applause to the chat as well for coming.
Well,
in.
the Giants, come on. Do something. Come on. Don't make me keep making these thumbnails of freaking out in the middle of the desert with freaking cow bones. Come on.
See you tomorrow.
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.